Morning, guys. Rickshaw here on the 26th of May, 2023. And last night, we finally got what we needed. You can see everything looks like it's nice and wet. It started raining at about midnight, and it rained when I got up and took the dogs out at 2:30. It was still raining. Not a super heavy rain, just a nice slow soaker, and by about 3 it quit. And it really cooled things off. You wouldn't believe the temperature change. Actually, this morning when I was out walking, it was a little bit chilly. I don't know if this vlog's going to go up. I don't know what's happening with the stupid Kind Master. I did see another thing. YouTube screwing with me. I got a notice on there. It's in the little bell thing, and it's showing like 6 new subscribers. And I thought, cool. New guys. I'm glad you guys are watching. I really appreciate it. And guess what? I went down by 1. You know, they keep kicking people off. So check your subscriptions. And they're kicking me off. I actually had one guy. Come on, Boomer. He said he got kicked off 5 times. Every time he turned it back on, a little while later he'd check and they'd kick it off again. So they don't like me very much. Come on over here. That's my little buddy, huh? Yeah, that baby boy. Shaky stayed home. She was I had her doing some running again. She's listening a little bit better, so I had her running. But we've got tomorrow, Faye and my daughter are going to go for a big bus ride into Manila and go to it's like a resort. They got rides and all this stuff. It was a pay one price and everything's included. You know, your lunch, your bus ride, staying at the amusement park, the whole bit. And last time I took Dorothy, but this time I said, come on, sweetie, you should have a girls' day out, you know, because mommy's, you know, it's going to be different for them. So I'll just have the boys here, and it looks like it's going to be a whole day thing. I don't expect them back till after dark, but that'll be nice. And then next week we've got our visa thing. We collected up. We got all the paperwork. I did get the barangay clearance. I've got ORCRs for everything. We've got the house papers. We've got the land papers down in Manduro. We got pictures of the dogs. We've got pictures of the septic tank, the well, and she's got all the paperwork for the land. So I hope it goes smoothly. She was talking to her friend this morning that just got her visa. She went down. It wasn't even a month, and she got her visa. There's our little puppy dog. There's our little puppy dog. Look at that, huh? Yeah, it's a brother, but he's scared. Hi, baby. Hey, look at how pretty that girl is. That's our puppy we give the neighbor. Okay. That's our little pup. And just a beautiful, she's a beautiful little pup. She's a little bit more like Shaky. She's got a little long hair, but her legs are longer and her feet are real fine. Boomer, he's already, when I put him on the scale, he's only a little bit over 1 kilo off of what Shaky is. He's just solid as a rock. Even when you hear him coming, he like thuds when he hits the concrete. He's just it's a good name for him, Boomer. It's just a good name. Dorothy named him. But he's turned out to be a good pup. I like when he walks with me. He stays right by, and I can call him off anything. If he sees a kitty, he likes to go and investigate the kitty, just like his mama. But he'll come back. He's afraid of the frogs, though. It was raining, so there was a lot of frogs, and there was a lot of steam coming up off the road. The rain was cooling it off, so the frogs came out, and he's scared to death of them. He's a big damn chicken, is what he is. But talk to the doc a little bit. He's doing very well. He's getting a bunch of his stuff he's got to get taken care of, because if we get the visa, he's gonna meet us in the States. He's been, you know, that's going to be really cool. Also, I was really glad this morning, a little bit before 8, I got news from Ronald. He's not feeling a whole lot better, but he's still kicking. He was just said he was conserving his phone because he didn't get he's hoping his daughter-in-law brings the charger, which she hasn't done yet. And I said, hey, just go ahead and just text. It wasn't a call or anything. I said, why don't you just ask the nurses? They'll let you charge up. So that way he can get his phone back up. That's his lifeline now. But he's still in intensive care, and I just hope he gets this cleared up. You know, he was planning on coming here. And I'll tell you what, guys, if you've got major, we talked to Doc. The Doc was actually going to move here. He was going to move to a place in Cebu. He found a nice house he was going to buy and all this stuff, and then he got in the accident, and then he threw the clot and stuff. And I'm saying, you know, either one of those things that happened to you, if they'd have happened here, you'd have been dead meat. You ought to rethink, you know, rethink moving to the Philippines if you've got health problems. I'm serious. Just don't, because like I say, we're a couple kilometers from the hospital. And these are the things that can happen. One of them, it could take us 45 minutes to get there. Well, it might take longer because the ambulance to come. But let's say you're ambulatory and you can get a tricycle, but you're in distress. It could take you 45 minutes to go that 2 kilometers during the daytime. That's how horrible the traffic is. Then you could get to the hospital, and guess what? There might not be a doctor there. He might be home, or he's on vacation, and all they got is little nurses and stuff like that can't really do much for you. If you go in an ambulance, there's nothing in an ambulance. There's just a cot that they pick you up on. The guys that now this is different for the bigger hospitals in the huge cities, Manila and stuff like that, but the guys that get in the back of that ambulance, 20 minutes before they jumped on the run, they were sweeping the floor and taking the garbage out. And you know, it's because they're strong guys and they can pick up a body and they throw them in the ambulance, and they do nothing for you all the way to the hospital. If you're bleeding out, maybe they'll stop the blood. Maybe they know enough to do that. But oxygen in there, I never seen any. Every time I go past the hospital, I'll go look in the windows of the ambulance. I'm tall enough, I can usually see in there, and there's nothing in them. They're empty. Yeah, so it's you better rethink the Philippines if you've got health problems. You know, that's for sure. Now, are there some good doctors? And there's some pretty good doctors in hospitals, but one fella I was talking to, he's got health problem, diabetes really bad. They had hacked a foot off on him, and a bunch of crap was happening to him. So, come on. So, he said, well, I'll just get a place right next to the hospital. And I'm like, what's the point of that? What are you going to do? You know, stay where you're at. What would you want to do? Just sit in the big city here? You know, the big cities here, I'm not kidding you, they're kind of stinky. You do get a nice sea breeze most of the time, so it blows the pollution off a little bit. But, you know, during the middle of the day when them jeepneys are running, they're doing a big thing where they're trying to change out all the jeepneys to these new modern ones. Well, these people can't afford that. You know, it's not, the prices of the travel would go so high for them to make ends meet that it's just not feasible. You know, the government, they always show you this pie in the sky and how wonderful it's going to be until the people see the price tag. You know, going green, to me, it's to smash the West. It's exactly what it's all set up for. It's to smash the West, because China ain't going to do that. China ain't going to go green. I remember when they were doing the Beijing Olympics and they were showing things you couldn't even see. You were like in this big smog cloud and people's lungs were burning. You know, their eyes were all burning. They're not going to do anything green. It's to destroy the West, guys. And that's their plan. Knock the numbers down and force you into doing all this green stuff that's going to cost you a fortune. These electric cars. I watched a vlog on there and the guy explained it, and I was watching him thinking, okay, this guy's pretty good. So you take you go mine these lithium batteries, and they're using little kids to do it. It just destroys the environment. Then you take those and you ship them all the way over, ship that stuff to China. They make the battery. Then they ship it to Japan. Pam builds a car, puts the battery, ships it to the United States. Look at all that traveling you just done, and all the mining you did. Now you drive that car and the battery goes bad. What you gonna do with it? I'm hearing that they're gonna have so much of these solar panels that's toxic waste. One of the studies said that the toxic waste from solar panels is worse than nuclear waste. You know, it's just not good. Leaching in the groundwater. But the same with these car batteries. And a lot of people are in shock for them now because they're not getting. There's a fellow on there. He bought a Ford Lightning. And it was pretty nice. He said it never got what they said it was going to get. He said, just forget it. So he pulled a 4,000-pound trailer, and I think he got 80 miles out of it before it was dead. You know, that's ridiculous. And then he's got to sit on a charger, and these chargers, it costs you more to charge these babies up than it does to put the gas in it. You know, like personally myself, I don't want nothing to do with electric vehicle. And then you see these fires that they have. You know, I'm watching buses go up. You know, just go online and look up electric car fires on YouTube, and they'll show you a whole bunch of them. And the firemen can't put them out. You know, fire departments all over that are pushing these things are coming up and saying, "Hey, we got to have more money. We can't put these out." You know, if you don't, it's one of the things said an average car fire takes 1,000 gallons of water. And a lithium-ion battery car fire takes 40,000, and it can reignite. That's just putting it out the first time. Yeah. So these fire departments, they're screaming their heads off. They're saying we need more money for these things. Nobody's counting that. You know, they just count the wonderful, you know, rainbows and unicorns. We're going to go green. And you got little Greta Towhead is out there. Yeah, you know, I'm the new face of this. I'm a remedial kid in school and don't have much of a brain, but I'll tell you what you're going to do. You've stolen my childhood. Stolen her childhood. The liberals did that already. You know, and I just shake my head at these. I shake my head at these people. But so many people are buying it. You know, they're just buying it. Now they got these electric motorcycles. It's a novelty, guys. To me, it's a novelty. It's a rich man's toy. You know, if you're somebody that's going to drive to work on a regular basis, you can't have an electric car. You just can't. I got to get in some light here. I can never sit down. There's always crap in the way. Here's one. But this turned into the stinking laundry room out here. Nothing I can do about it. I can't understand. I've got this washing machine that works really good, and we're still doing clothes in a stinking bucket. I don't think that's going to change. I wish it would, but I don't understand that mentality. This washing machine does just as good a job. When she's out of town, I wash all the clothes, and then I don't have to hang them for so long. Because you know what I do? As soon as they're done, I throw them on that air dry. There's no heater in it. In this washing machine, you don't use hot water, but you put it on air dry, and when the clothes come out, they are almost dry. Hang them up for 10-15 minutes, fold them, you're done, and they're not wet. You know, right now these things been hanging out since yesterday, and because it was rainy and misty last night, they're still wet right now. So, but that's what your Filipina is going to do if you get one. I just talked to one of my co-workers when I was at the call center. She's marrying a fella. He's going to be coming over here pretty soon from California, and she's going to meet him. And he's going to stay for his thing and try to get an extension and spend some time. And if it all works out, she says she's going to marry him. I'm like, cool. You know, that's really cool. So, you know, a lot of folks are still coming around here getting married. I don't know the fella or anything. She goes, it was funny. She goes, oh, he's from California. Do you know him? You know, Filipinos don't realize how big, you know, just how big just one state is. I mean, California's probably got the same land mass of all the Philippines, you know. And that's something I think my wife is really going to freak out when we go there, because we get the visa, we're planning on seeing some family. I got a whole bunch of family in Missouri, tons of them. I got a bunch of them in northern Ohio. I got Pennsylvania, and I got another sister in South Carolina. I'd like to try to squeeze it in to see them all, or they at least come somewhere where we're at, meet us halfway or something like that. Because this is a big trip, but we're just not going to spare an expense on it. You know, I want to make this the trip of a lifetime, because I think my sweetie's really going to be amazed. She's not going to believe how far we're going to be able to go on the highway. You know, like if you go down to some of these places that are only 150 miles away, you might be looking at anywhere from 15 to 24 hours to get there. And you do something like that in the U.S., you're looking at 2.5 hours. You know, I lived when I lived in PA. I was from my mom and dad's house. It was 159 miles. I could do that in 2.5 hours, because you're on the tollway, and the road's getting to the tollway. There's no huge traffic. The little town right before the tollway is minor traffic because they have lights. Nothing like here. And then once you get through that, you're on the toll gate, and you're getting up, and you do what the speed of the traffic is. I used to love it when there'd be Greyhound buses, because those guys would always they would run their buses around 80 and just pull in behind them, and the cops don't bother you. As long as you're not weaving in and out of the lanes, they don't bother you. You know, they'll come up from behind. They're doing 90, and they pass you by. But I did get stopped by a cop one time, because I think he had me at 79, he said. And I said, well, where did you catch me? He says, oh, I was way behind you. So I said, in order to catch me, I said, why did you stop me? He says, well, because it's unsafe to go that fast. And I said, it can't be, because you had to go faster than that to catch me. You know, he just looked, and then he took my license, and he went back. Of course, they ran it, and they ran the car, find out nothing was wrong. So he says, okay, I'm going to give you a warning. You know, take it easy. So I didn't get a ticket, but he did pull me over and hang me on the side of the road for about 15 minutes. But that's the way it goes, you know. But me, I've been lucky. I've never been one that got a lot of tickets or anything like that. You know, like none. So, but I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Hope everything goes good. Don't forget to pray for our buddy Ronald. He is in serious distress right now. He's still having a hard time breathing, and he says he's not really any better than when he got a hold of me the other day. You know, he called me like it was 1:38 in the morning, something like that. And I'm like, that's cool. You know, if you need somebody to talk to me, I don't care what time it is. He said, oh yeah, well, it's kind of late. No, it don't matter. You just call, because that's important. I've never met the guy personally, but I really like him. You know, it's just like I met a lot of people online. You know, the Doc, Sean, Paulie. Haven't met him yet, but I sure do like him. Gary. Haven't met him in person, but I yak with them, and I like them. I think they're really nice people. And then there's the ones I met. Wes. My brain went dead. Wes, and oh, look at that. I must be having one of them senior moments. Tropical Tim. You know, and Mark, you know, got to meet these guys, and it was all because of the channel, you know. And it's nice, like when I was talking to Doc, we've been actually talking on the phone, and I was telling him last night, I've actually talked to him more than I talk to anybody on the phone. I'm not a big person to talk on the phone, but I think a lot of it has to do with I'm here. And to be honest with you guys, when you come here, I'm telling you, learn the language as fast as you can. Learn the language, because guess what? You're going to have nobody to talk to. And I don't care what they say about their English, and they got it. Filipino will say they understand you when they don't. And another thing they'll do is if you ask for directions and they don't know, just so they don't seem like they don't know anything, they'll send you the wrong way. Because they don't know where this place is. It's what they do. And they'll tell you, I spot them because I used to hire for people who spoke English at the call center, and they'll start drifting. You'll throw up a word. And if you want to get a Filipino, you can actually be an American, and you can come talk to another American, and if you just start using slang words, you know, constantly, they have no idea what you're talking about. It's like a foreign language, because they don't get all the words. you know, like Doc was saying, you're in the car and you say, put the hammer down. They have no idea what you're saying. Absolutely none. Now, I try to teach my kids that, and I try to do it with Faye also to let her know what it means. Anytime we run across a slang, I tell them, I explain to them what it means. And so they're going to do good. And I want to keep that up with the kids. I just wish these schools would stop giving them bad habits in English. It's just terrible. But we're going to, when we come back after the move, it's going to be straight private school because we don't got any more of this convent stuff. The private schools are open, and I said no sense in doing it now. Let them finish their public school out until July when they get out. And by then we'll be able to take our trip, and then when we come back, we're going to go straight into a private school for them. So that's how that's going to go. So take care, and like I say, give, if you can add Ronald Bowden to your prayers, that would be a real good one because he seems like a hell of a good sort, just a good old country boy. And he was planning on coming here. I don't know what his plans are in the future, and I just hope he's okay. So this is Rick Shaw out.